Could be soon locked out of directly voting in their president, deputy president and governors if a proposal by Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, is adopted at a referendum. Muturi appeared before the BBI report validation team says Kenyans should instead vote for political parties, and the winning party would then nominate persons to key executive offices after the general election. Muturi argues that this would avoid the violence experienced after every hotly contested presidential election. Meanwhile, majority and minority leaders in the Senate have proposed that the Senate be the upper house, as well as have its own Parliamentary Service Commission. KTN senior political reporter Chris Tairo has the details for us.
It was the last day that the BBI task force was concluding its validation forums in Nairobi, 2 months after President Uhuru Kenyatta gazetted the extension of their term. Among those who had an opportunity to share their proposals was Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi. According to Muturi, Kenya's electoral system should change and allow Kenyans to instead vote in political parties, and the party that garners majority of the votes names the country's president, his deputy and governors.
The first remedy should be to entrench political competition at the ballot to be amongst political parties as opposed to a competition amongst individuals wearing political party t-shirts. When voters enter a polling booth at the village level, they should view their aspirations through political parties rather than through individuals in political parties.
The Speaker is also pushing for the removal of constituency boundaries, with Kenyans only voting for parties and each MP manning between 150,000 and 200,000 people.
We need to have a serious conversation on the necessity to abolish constituency boundaries to help cure the strife and unrest that characterizes general elections in this country.
Majority Leader in the Senate, Kipchumba Murkomen, and his minority counterpart, James Orengo, also represented the Senate, where they stressed the need to have the Senate as the upper house.
If the Senate is not going to give any cabinet secretary, and it might be better that way, you then make the Senate become the house of accountability on all these other issues, so that then the National Assembly provides the cabinet secretaries.
The clamor for presidency, the clamor for every tribe to have a president, is centered around resources. Devolution is the answer to that clamor and thirst for every tribe to have a president. That is the way to do it. And that is the reason why the strengthening of devolution chair is the only thing that can guarantee, it's like a second independence to Kenya.
Women caucus representing elected women also appeared before the validation team and insisted on ensuring that in every elective position, gender parity should be considered, such that if the presidential candidate is a man, the deputy is a woman, and vice versa.
We propose the changing of the electoral system from first past the post to the mixed member proportional representation, and using a zebra 50-50 list of men and women, and that guarantees space for other disadvantaged groups such as the youth and the persons with disabilities.
Meanwhile, President Uhuru Kenyatta on Monday met 9 governors from the larger Rift Valley region ahead of the next BBI rally in the region, scheduled for the 21st March in Nakuru County. The governors assured the president of their full backing of the BBI process and undertook to ensure unity and inclusion of all stakeholders in the run-up to the Nakuru rally. The last BBI rally will be held in Nairobi County at the end of this month. Kenyans are likely to have a final validated report of the BBI initiative much earlier than the June deadline. Chris Tairo, KTN News.
Let's stay with politics.